What if an ordinary afternoon suddenly ended in tragedy? On February 13, 2001, Jill-Lyn Euto, a 18-year-old college student from Syracuse, New York, stayed home while her mother went to work. She was described as kind, funny, and full of dreams. That evening, her mother returned with Valentine's Day gifts, expecting to see her daughter smiling. Instead, she found Jill-Lyn dead on the floor of their apartment. The young woman had been brutally strangled. Shockwaves ran through the city, as no one could believe such a violent crime had struck someone so innocent. Can you imagine walking into your home and finding the unthinkable? Jill-Lyn's mother discovered her lifeless body lying in their living room. She had been strangled with a cord from their own telephone, a chilling sign of how sudden and brutal the attack was. There were no signs of forced entry, meaning the killer may have been invited inside or already knew her. Police rushed to the scene, collecting evidence and questioning neighbors. But despite fingerprints, DNA, and clues, the case grew cold. The horrifying discovery left her family in endless grief and a desperate search for answers. Who could kill a young woman in her own home? Detectives investigated Jill-Lyn's friends, neighbors, and acquaintances. Some believed it was a crime of passion, while others suggested a possible stalker. But every lead ended in disappointment. Investigators took DNA samples and examined fingerprints from the scene, but none matched anyone in their database. Even after years of effort, the identity of the killer remained unknown. With no arrests and no solid suspects, the case slowly faded from the headlines. Yet Jill-Lyn's family refused to let her be forgotten, demanding justice. Why has this murder remained unsolved for so long? Some believe the killer was someone Jill-Lyn trusted, which explains the lack of forced entry. Others think it was a random intruder who slipped inside unnoticed. The use of a phone cord as the murder weapon suggests a sudden act fueled by rage, not a planned attack. Detectives faced frustration as each clue led to a dead end. With time, memories faded, and potential witnesses grew silent. Theories swirled online, but none brought closure. Jill-Lyn's case became one of Syracuse's most haunting mysteries. How can justice be denied for over 2 decades? The murder of Jill-Lyn Euto remains unsolved, even after more than 20 years. Her mother still speaks out, begging for new leads and keeping her daughter's memory alive. Police have reopened the case multiple times, hoping that advances in DNA technology might finally expose the killer. Community members continue to honor Jill-Lyn, refusing to let her story disappear. Yet the silence of her killer still hangs heavy over Syracuse. Until the truth is revealed, Jill-Lyn's death will remain a painful reminder of an unsolved crime that refuses to rest. What happens when a journalist becomes too powerful for the powerful? Anna Politkovskaya was a fearless reporter in Russia, known for her bold investigations into the Chechen wars, human rights abuses, and corruption. Writing for Novaya Gazeta, she exposed torture, killings, and government cover-ups that few dared to speak of. To many, she was the voice of the voiceless, standing up for victims of war and injustice. But her fearless reporting made her a target of threats and intimidation. Even after poisoning attempts, she refused to stop. Her pen became a weapon against corruption and cruelty, and it would ultimately cost her life. How can silence be forced with just one bullet? On October 7, 2006, Anna returned to her apartment building in Moscow after shopping. As she entered the elevator, a gunman ambushed her. She was shot 5 times at close range, execution style, with a pistol left beside her body. It was a cold, calculated assassination carried out on the birthday of Vladimir Putin. The killing sent shockwaves through Russia and the world. Crowds gathered outside her building to mourn. A journalist who spoke truth to power had been silenced forever in a murder designed to instill fear. Who wanted her silenced? Politkovskaya had many enemies. She exposed Russian military abuses in Chechnya, criticized Ramzan Kadyrov, the Chechen leader, and openly challenged Putin's government. Her fearless reporting embarrassed powerful figures, making her assassination appear politically motivated. Investigators initially arrested several Chechen men, but questions about who ordered the killing never went away. Many believed her death was a message to all journalists: speak out, and you will be silenced. Her assassination became a symbol of the dangers of reporting in Russia's political climate. Why was justice never complete? In the years after the murder, 5 men were convicted, including the gunman who pulled the trigger. But the true mastermind was never identified. The convictions did not answer the biggest question: who ordered her death? Even her colleagues at Novaya Gazeta insisted the killers were only tools, not the architects. The lack of accountability exposed deep flaws in Russia's justice system. The trial was seen not as closure, but as another layer of the cover-up. Anna's family and supporters knew the truth was still hidden in the shadows. How can you kill a voice that lives in memory? Though Anna Politkovskaya was assassinated, her work continues to inspire journalists, activists, and truth-seekers worldwide. Her books and reports remain essential records of Chechnya's war crimes and Russia's political struggles. Every year, vigils are held in her honor, demanding answers that have yet to come. She is remembered not just as a victim, but as a symbol of courage against oppression. The mystery of who ordered her assassination still hangs heavy over Russia. Until the truth is revealed, Anna's death remains one of the most haunting unsolved crimes against journalism. In the 1990s, Ilya Pavlov rose to become one of the richest and most influential men in Bulgaria. As head of the multi-group empire, he controlled businesses in energy, hotels, tourism, and banking. He was admired by some as a successful entrepreneur, but others accused him of links to organized crime. By 2003, Pavlov was one of the most powerful figures in Eastern Europe. But with power came enemies, and his name was often whispered in both boardrooms and back alleys. His rise was unstoppable until the night it ended in gunfire. How can a man so powerful be killed so easily? On March 7, 2003, Ilya Pavlov left his corporate headquarters in Sofia, Bulgaria's capital. As he stepped outside, a single sniper bullet struck him in the heart. He collapsed instantly, dying before help could arrive. The killing shocked the entire country, especially since it happened in front of his bodyguards. Whoever pulled the trigger was fast, precise, and vanished without a trace. The murder looked like a professional hit, designed to send a chilling message. Pavlov's empire had lost its king in a matter of seconds. Who wanted Ilya Pavlov dead? Police immediately suspected rivals in organized crime, given his vast influence. Pavlov had survived earlier assassination attempts, proving he was already a marked man. Some believed he was silenced for knowing too much about secret business deals. Others suggested revenge from competitors or even political motivations, since he was rumored to have ties to powerful politicians. Despite interviews, raids, and endless speculation, no direct suspect was ever confirmed. His death exposed the dangerous intersection of business, crime, and politics in post-communist Bulgaria. The deeper investigators looked, the darker the secrets became. Why was the killer never caught? Even though the murder happened in a crowded area, no one clearly saw the sniper. Forensic evidence was scarce, and the weapon was never recovered. Witnesses described hearing just a single shot before chaos erupted. Years of investigation brought theories, but no resolution. Many believed the assassin was hired by international groups, beyond the reach of Bulgarian authorities. Others accused local officials of turning a blind eye due to corruption. The lack of progress left Bulgarians frustrated, seeing Pavlov's murder as proof that powerful crimes could remain untouchable. To some, Ilya Pavlov is remembered as a visionary businessman who helped shape Bulgaria's economy. To others, he remains a symbol of corruption, power, and the violent underworld of the 1990s. His murder remains one of Bulgaria's most famous unsolved cases, a story of ambition cut short by a sniper's bullet. Every year, his name resurfaces in discussions about justice and crime in Eastern Europe. The unanswered questions still linger. Who ordered the hit and why? Until the truth is revealed, the assassination of Ilya Pavlov will remain a dark mystery in Bulgaria's history.